Well, it's to be noted that even though in the United States there has been mostly just coverage of Hillary and Trump's the presidential uh, election, that there hasn't that in across the world there is much more of a discussion of development and of progress and of real projects towards for a future orientation. You know, right now in the United States, Hillary is talking about regime change in Syria, and that is tantamount to war with Russia. And it's it's a crazy idea. It's warmongering, and you would think that we had grown out of it as a nation, as even as the Democratic Party from the previous years of Obama warmongering and everything, but this at this point is McCarthyism in the extreme, and it should be unacceptable. It should be something that we look to a candidate and say, this person is not a Democrat, this person is not acting like a citizen of the United States, they're acting like a tyrant. And so it should be unacceptable. It's probably going to throw support more towards Trump. Whether or not that's good or bad is not for me to say. It's more that now is the time to end this policy of war and policy of destabilization, which the U.S. has been famous for the past 15 years, especially. Even though at this point, Hillary just got another endorsement from the Financial Times, and it's one of these things where there's truth to the statement that that Trump is not that Trump is what Trump is, but we have to address that Hillary isn't a viable candidate either, and that there needs to be real action in the days and weeks ahead in order to create a future for America and for the world. So, but the exciting part of what's happening in this day and age and today and is what's happening abroad. You had Helga Zepp-LaRouche speaking at a conference in Germany on the New Silk Road, delivering this message of peace and development with China, and that's something unique and good. I'm just gonna say that, and the Chinese premier's visit to Russia. What was I looking for? I was looking for the Japanese and Russia potential economic development. There's right now, Japan has not had any treaty with Russia for a long time, and they are at this point looking. Abe is looking to or has drawn up a economic proposal for Putin, and is looking to start some headway in that reign. Even though there's obvious disagreements over Ukraine and over how they see these areas, which have been used as the means to push on them the idea that they should have sanctions against Russia. But at this point they're looking to change that or to see how they can work together with Russia, and that's good. Ibero-America is looking to join China in development projects. They're looking to get different projects off the ground. $30 billion to the industrial fund of the China Latin America Industrial Fund. There is a certain amount of real commitment by China to the development of the world, and these countries that are applying for it in Latin America, see that and they want to be a part of it. They want to they're getting access to it, so that's good. Russia and India sharing a nuclear program. China building more maglev. These things are really exciting, and yeah, and definitely something that promises a better future than what we see here in the United States. But obviously, that can't happen. The future of high-speed rail moving 4,000 kilometers per hour can't happen without the United States being part of a world of that world. And if the United States descends further into dictatorship, then we won't have it. We won't. The world will not live to see such things. So that's kind of what I want to talk about. There's also the Sarasota magazine that covered the involvement of the Saudis in 9/11, which is good, which is which discussed something that I hadn't either read before, or which was that that Senator Graham went to this was investigated the in Florida the houses around which these criminals, or which these which these terrorists lived, and asked the FBI why they hadn't brought up these leads to him in the 9/11 Commission. Obviously it was not, and was stonewalled by FBI brass, and so that it really and that sends a clear message that the U.S. is not, and that the people who are running these operations, as far as the CIA, FBI, are not interested in the truth. They want to maintain their allies and hold back the secret of the Saudi involvement in 9/11 as much as possible. So yeah, that's what I just wanted to talk about. The world is changing. We have to change with it and mobilize with it to the extent we can, in whatever way we can. So, yeah, see everybody tomorrow.